Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Amanda and today we're going to talk about my favourite medium in the whole entire world, in the art world, which is watercolour. Yay! I just want to talk about why it's my favourite medium and all of that stuff. I do have other mediums that I've dabbled in that are also my faves, but right now I'm absolutely loving watercolour. I love the versatility and all that stuff, but we will get into that later on in the video. And yeah, I do love digital and coloured pencil, but watercolour seems to be my favourite at the moment, so let's talk about that, shall we? Let's get on with the video. Hello guys, welcome to the painting portion of this video. I don't know what I'm going to paint yet because I'm doing the voiceover first, as I need to pre-record a bunch of videos. So I'm just going to talk about what I love about this medium. And if you have been following me for a while, you'll know that I have done several watercolour videos in the past, and I do actually really like watercolour, but I've recently discovered why it's my favourite medium. The reason I like watercolour is because of its beautiful properties. The colours that you can get, like you can get pastel, muted, bright, vibrant, dull, like you can get a variety of colours at a very low cost, and they are just really fun and relaxing to use. Like, I just love it that it's so versatile, and you can do like translucent washes, you can get loads of detail, you can just go to town with it, and I don't know, it just feels like when I paint I feel like an artist. I know it sounds so stupid, but I really enjoy the medium. I can't describe how much I love it because I just love it so much, if that makes any sense. I've been really into drawing and watercolouring, in particular sweet treats, as you might have known if you follow me on other social medias, which you definitely should do. I do not post on Instagram as much as I want to, but I am going to start doing that a lot more. And I don't post that much art on my Twitter, but I do mention a lot of things about art and the art world and stuff like that, and retweet things. So if you want to follow me over there, you should definitely do that. Shameless plug. Just the act of putting a brush in water and putting it in the paint and putting it on the page makes me feel so much joy, and I think that everybody who hasn't tried watercolour should try it at least once in their life to see if they like it. Obviously there will be people that don't like it at all, but it's really good and I really like it. I've been trying to love watercolour for the longest time, and I do talk about this in my other video, but the main thing that was holding me back from liking watercolour was the patience, the having to wait for a long time for it to dry so that you could put extra layers on. Really hated that. But using watercolour has actually widened my painting subjects. Like when I used coloured pencil, I just used to do portraits, and I know that you don't have to just do one subject with one medium. Like plenty of people that use coloured pencil do different subjects, but watercolour just makes it easier for me to do landscapes and portraits and items, like objects, and make them look really cool, and that's why I love it. The granulation is really nice in some of the paints as well. I do not have the knowledge that Denise from In Liquid Colour has about watercolour, so if you want to know any properties or elements or pigments or anything like that, you should definitely go and follow her. But I do know that I love it and that it gives me joy, and that I want to share my joy with you guys, and I want to experiment a little bit more. So if you have any ideas of what I should paint in watercolour, then please put them below because I would love to know. And also if you have any things that you want to say about your favourite medium, like what's your favourite medium and what you like about it, then put that in the comments below as well, because I love to hear about you guys. I love to hear what you're working on, and I love to share the joy and the journey. Brands that I have used and that I like are Winsor & Newton Professional and Schmink, although I'm kind of going off Schmink a little bit just because, I don't know, it's too opaque, I think. But I haven't tried much more brands than that. I have tried Daler Rooney and like cheaper brands like the Sakura Koi watercolour kit thing, Cotman, Winsor & Newton and Professional Winsor & Newton as well, but I haven't tried too much more than that. I really want to try Daniel Smith. I really want to try that, and I just want to try all the brands basically, like White Nights. I've heard good things about those. Also there is Sennelier and just a bunch of other brands that I just want to try out. So I do want to do some reviews to do with watercolours. I did do a review on Schmink, but it was when I first got it, or I hadn't used them that much, or I hadn't used any other professional watercolour brands, because Schmink was my first one. So I'm excited to maybe try and do some real opinions of watercolours and stuff like that. I do not like the Sakura watercolours just because they are too chalky for me. They're good for playing around with in your sketchbook and stuff like that, but I don't think that I want to use them at all. And there's also a bunch of paper that I like versus the paper that everybody else likes. People always go for ALLJArt, but there are a bunch of other cotton brands that I want to try. I can't name them all, but I'm pretty sure that a few other watercolour YouTube artists have used them, but I do want to try Winsor & Newton watercolour paper as well, but the ones that I like are Pink Pig sketchbooks. The Pink Pig sketchbook watercolour paper, that's really good. I don't mind ALLJArt, sorry, I need to experiment more with that, and I really like the Daler Rooney 100% cotton Langton stuff as well. That's really good. But yeah, I want to try Winsor & Newton and see how that goes. They've just came out with a line of new watercolour papers, and it's really exciting. So yeah, I love it, this medium. My other favourite medium probably would be digital, because it's just so easy. It's not easy, don't get me wrong, it's hard, but like it's easier to get like the effect and texture that you want, and it's also easier to go back on yourself and be like, I don't want to do that, let's start again. And you don't feel like you're wasting as much paper, although you do waste a lot of space in your computer or in your iPad or whatever you draw on. But recently I've been loving it a lot more because I got an iPad and I like to draw on the screen. So even if it wasn't an iPad and I was just drawing on the screen on my computer, I think I would like it a lot more too. But I like the iPad because you can put it down on your lap like a sketchbook, and you can still paint like that instead of having it on this big like gigantic arm and having to adjust the angle. But I would love to try one of those eventually, one of those tablets eventually. So I'm excited to try that, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen. But yeah, I just like putting the paint down on paper and watching it absorb and watching it bloom and mingle with each other. It's just such a relaxing, exciting, fun medium to work in. But I do think that you need decent paper at least, and decent brushes. Not so much like decent brands and expensive brushes, but more like the right sizes, because for a long time I went with the theory that you can use one brush, it can be a size 8 to 12, and then you can get really good decent control and points with the thicker brushes, but you can also get really thick paint strokes. But I actually like to go in with my details with a smaller brush, and the rigger, everybody's like, oh, you don't need a rigger, you can get the lines that you want without a rigger, but the rigger is so great for straight or flowy lines. I love it. So definitely, if you want to try and get into watercolour, then I would suggest that you play around with the brushes that you've got, play around with the paper, play around with the paint, and see what you like best. Because I actually started watercolouring when I was about 12. When I started the high school, I got one of those like red tins of Reeves watercolour paints, and I didn't know what the hell to do with them. The teacher didn't really explain very well what they were, and I had watercolour in tubes as well, and I didn't know that they were reactable, so I used them pretty much like acrylic paint, just like plopped them on the page really thickly, and yeah, I got a few good paintings out of that, but like I wasted a ton of watercolour paint. I probably would still have some of those tubes right now if I didn't use them like acrylic paint. So obviously do your research and do the exercises that people recommend you do, like the brush control exercises and the opacity exercises and the water control exercises. Those really do help. I am watching a couple of videos on Skillshare at the moment. I'm not sponsored by them. I don't do videos for them, but I have been finding that Skillshare has accelerated my watercolour usage quite a bit, and I do enjoy watching them and copying, well, not so much copying, but doing the exercises that they give you. I have a very academic mind, which is funny because I don't really, but I like to be able to learn by other people teaching me and giving me assignments to do, rather than just staring at a blank page and go, right, I need to practice, what can I do? But if you get a teacher or like an instructor or somebody to tell you what kind of activities and exercises you can do to increase your watercolour talent or skill, then it's much easier because you're like, right, I need to do this. This is how you do it. Let's do it. And I've been really enjoying that. So I want to get doing more into Skillshare, and maybe I might do a little watercolour painting based on a Skillshare exercise, or maybe not, I don't know, depends. Caden is going on the summer holidays soon, so I have a week to record videos, so I'm doing it all back to front, and probably a bit rushed, but you know what, it's alright, because when he goes back to school, he will be going to big school, so he will be away for 6 hours, so I'll have a lot more time to make videos. Hopefully I'll be able to get like a job that actually pays me money as well though, but yeah, for the first couple of months I'm guessing that I will not have a job straight away, and I will be able to make as much videos as possible. Well, not so much as much videos as possible, but I want to be able to make more quality videos. And I'm rambling because I have not much else to say about the medium, but yeah, I highly recommend trying watercolour if you haven't tried it before. It's just really fun and really relaxing, and the results are great when you actually get going. It's a really hard medium to learn. I went through a year of trying to learn it and just gave up all the time because I was like, I can't do this, I don't know how to do it. But once you get going and once you understand the basics, it's easier to apply to your own work. And as long as you remember that you don't need to do like amazing detailed masterpieces with watercolour, you can use it for illustrations as well. That is the most fun that I've had out of watercolour, is doing illustrations and doing like light washes with a little bit of shading, but also taking it in to do more realistic stuff and more detailed work. I am working on setting up a shop for my prints and originals in the future, so look out for that. I will put an announcement video up to say that I have done that, but I have had Redbubble in the past. I took my Redbubble down. I wanted to use a different site, but then I've decided that Redbubble might be the best for me, so I'm going to set up another Redbubble again, and I'm also going to set up an Etsy or a Society6 or something like that for my originals as well if you want to buy those. But yeah, I'm still learning, I'm still dabbling in the medium, and I'm still learning on what I want to draw and my style and my aesthetic and all that stuff. But I think that it's going very well, and yeah, I just can't wait. Anyway guys, I hope that you had an awesome week this week, and I hope that you have an awesome arty week next week, and I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to comment, like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you have, thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate it. And also remember to hit the notification bell so you get notified of all the videos that I post. I post on a Friday at 6 p.m. my time, so I'll say UK time. It's usually GMT or BST depending on whether we're in summer or winter, but we're in summer right now, so it's BST. But if you just type in UK time, you will get the same time zone. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.